WWE Money in the Bank, where the Money in the Bank ladder matches will be coming from WWE headquarters. You have to climb up the corporate ladder, as is the tagline for this pay-per-view. And I almost forgot that that to do a prediction video. I almost forgot that Money in the Bank was this Sunday. But anyway, that's what it is. We only have a couple matches, so I'm gonna make for a fast prediction video. First match: The New Day versus The Miz and Morrison versus the Forgotten Sons versus the Lucha House Party in a fatal four-way tag team match for the SmackDown tag team titles. The New Day just won the titles. I don't see them losing them. It wouldn't make any sense unless I mean, who are you gonna give it to? I don't. The Lucha House Party kind of came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, we won a title match. Have they really done anything to deserve it? I don't know. So yeah, I have the New Day winning here. Max Bailey versus Tamina for the SmackDown Women's title. Why are we giving Tamina a push? I mean, why? Once again, Tamina just come out of nowhere. Just came out of nowhere. Granted, I think that she actually won a couple matches, which is like, okay, it makes sense that she is now considered, a threat for the SmackDown Women's title. Bailey's gonna win. There's no way that Tamina's gonna win the title. There's just no way it's gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Next, we have the women's Money in the Bank: Asuka versus Shayna Baszler versus Nia Jax, trash, versus Dana Brooks versus Lacey Evans versus Carmella. And remember, they're gonna do this at WWE headquarters, Titan Towers. They're gonna start at the bottom and go all the way to the top where they have a ring, and then the briefcases are hanging. Now, I saw something that said, could they, start the match throughout the show, and then you just cut to Titan Towers, or WWE headquarters every couple, every once in a while. Like, we have these matches going on, they're both the women and the men's matches happening simultaneously, and they're just happening throughout the night, right? And you cut back in and out, which I think would be interesting. What they've done with these, cinematic matches and these, like the Firefly Funhouse match and the Boneyard match, really interesting. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with these matches. I have Asuka winning. I don't think Shayna Baszler needs to win the match. I think she's a threat, by herself, and that she'll find herself in a title match, soon. I think what they've done with Asuka, throughout this whole situation, and even a little bit before, they were performing without any fans. They were trying to build something there. So I think Asuka wins the Money in the Bank here. Next, we have the men's match: Daniel Bryan versus Rey Mysterio versus Aleister Black versus King Corbin versus Otis versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles comes back after the Boneyard match. I have Aleister Black winning here. He's the other guy they've been slowly but surely building him up. I don't think Daniel Bryan wins. I don't think Rey Mysterio wins. I guess Corbin could win, but he's won before. I don't think they'll give it and he lost the Money in the Bank. He didn't win. So, Otis isn't winning, and I don't think AJ Styles is winning. So I think Aleister Black makes the most sense to win the Money in the Bank. I just think it does. So that's who I'm picking here. Next, Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt for the Universal title. This is really interesting because you just gave Strowman the title, and Bray Wyatt, is Bray Wyatt, right? He's only lost, the one match to Goldberg. It's like, well, what are we gonna do here? You can't. Probably end in a disqualification or something, just something to make sure that neither of these two guys take a loss. I don't think. They could really afford it. Well, maybe they can, but just. I don't see it happening. And just is real interesting situation that WWE put themselves in. So for the Universal title match, I think I'm going to go with Strowman to keep the title. I don't necessarily think, like I said, it's a really interesting situation that they put themselves in where neither of these guys can really lose. So I think Strowman keeps the title. I don't know how they do it, but he's going to keep the title. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. Another situation where you have two guys that probably can't lose right now, but I could see Seth Rollins still losing, considering, you can make the case, well, he doesn't have his disciples. He doesn't have Murphy. He doesn't have the Authors of Pain. And Drew McIntyre just finds a way to win here, right? or maybe Kevin Owens comes back and interferes. I don't know. Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre retains the title. Yeah, and I think that makes the most sense here. So that is my WWE Money in the Bank predictions.